Hello and welcome back to central Portugal. It is that time of year here where everything else gets put on hold, all projects are stopped because the olives are ready to be harvested. They are literally falling off the trees. In this video we're documenting from the last few days of October and into the beginning of November as we harvest our olives and take them to the press to be made into olive oil. We also collect some to make table olives, help friends with their harvest and share all that we've been learning about this incredible product over the last few years. Welcome to another vlog, and if you're new here, hello, we're Carissa and Iwan, and back in 2020 we left North Wales and bought this old stone ruin to turn into our home, surrounded by a beautiful olive grove and lots of vines. One of our main reasons for moving here was the land, to cultivate a garden to grow our own food and most excitingly to make our own wine. The olives have ripened quite early this year and we've had a lot of rain, which is going to have an impact on the olives. Our trees are also in need of quite a drastic prune, which we can start now as the trees start going into dormancy around harvest time, and then we will do another prune later in the winter before spring when the trees start growing again. Back in March of this year, Iwan gave a few of our trees a drastic prune and they're now flourishing. So we feel a lot more confident with the pruning. Usually cutting them back this harshly will result in less olives for at least next year, but is better for the longevity of the tree and future olive harvests. Also, pruning whilst harvesting makes picking the olives easier. We won't do them all this year to make sure we will have some olives next year, and some need a more harsher pruning than others. Though this one actually just needed to come down. It has grown too tall and has a bit of a rot in the trunk, and we are worried it could also fall on the house. So we've left some lower growth and hopefully it will regrow as a healthier, smaller tree. Thanks to our friend Nick for helping with safely chopping it down. Our friends Annie and Pete came to stay with us for a few days, so we put them to work. No one gets a free holiday here, there's always plenty to be done. Thanks so much for your help, guys. We have 100 trees, so a helping hand is always appreciated.
Launched me. What do you reckon? I'm going to say 15. I reckon less. Yeah.
Ah, it's not very small.
Nice. Hello, mate.
Close.
Wedged on here.
Got it. This is my favourite tree.
Is it?
They're not as nice on this one, a lot of them.
Yes, in pretty desperate need of a prune.
Yeah.
Why is it your favourite tree, Cass?
Just because it's like big and it's on its own and
Just
it's easy to pick. I think it's our tallest tree, which might change today. Which one's been your favourite tree?
Probably the first one. No, not the first one. The second one.
Did you need to come and hold some of them? Whilst we're still picking, I'll tell you a little more about olives. Similar to grapes, there are also many varietals with hundreds of different cultivars of olives in the world, and they all have their own distinctive flavours and characteristics. Here we are growing mostly Galega vulgar olives, considered the most emblematic olive variety in Portugal, representing about 80% of the olives grown here. The Galega is an ancient variety mostly used for olive oil production, but also makes a tasty table olive. In March of this year, the Azeitona Galega de Beira Baixa received Protected Geographical Indication status, one of the protection regimes for quality products within the EU. Of our 100 trees, most are Galega, but we do have 3 trees of a different varietal called Cordovil, which I believe is a distinctive cultivar of the Castelo Branco region. Do let me know if you know otherwise. I've not been able to find too much information about them. Cordovil is also grown in the Alentejo. I have read that it is one of the world's oldest olive cultivars and produces a delicious oil as well as making fantastic meaty table olives. Much bigger than the Galegas, they ripen much later and tend to keep their green colour. Olive trees blossom in the spring, around the end of April and into May, when the trees are filled with beautiful tiny white star-like flowers, which then litter the ground like confetti, and you'll catch them moving in a trail as all the ants carry them to their homes.
Doing the bits that I want to do. So it's quite fun. Sound nice, isn't it?
It's almost like we're starting to know what to do, but I'm standing on it too much. Very blustery here. It has been raining all morning, but the sun has finally come out. We're just going up to the lagar to press some of our olives with our friend Janine. We're mixing our olives together so that hopefully we can get a private batch of just our olives combined. So we'll take you there. Olive trees are an integral part of the Portuguese landscape, from shading small potager gardens and lining village roads, overhanging the town boundary walls, to vast groves of ancient trees amidst towering cork oaks or huge plantations perfectly curated for machine harvesting. Olive trees were introduced to Portugal in around the 1st century BC and adapted well to the rocky soil and climate, and soon became an integral part of Portugal's foreign trade, culture and cuisine. Today, Portugal is a major producer of olive oil, 4th in Europe and 8th in the world, and the country is distinguished above all by the number of its producers. There are still more than 20,000. This particular characteristic makes it possible to maintain production on a human scale, guaranteeing the diversity and uniqueness of Portuguese olive oils. In fact, many Portuguese producers are awarded prizes every year in international competitions. Yeah, so this thing moves if you want it. So many olives. So we've just got back from the press, it's very cold. And there's a big beautiful rainbow up above us. I love seeing them. It was really interesting, we were able to chat to the guy at the lagar, and he was saying that it's not really a very good year for the olives because of all this rain, and even if they are looking quite big and healthy, they're also swollen from all the water, so the oil quantity that you're getting per kilogram of olives is really low. Can you see the rainbow? It's on. But we, with our friend Janine, who's our neighbour, they live just over from us, we had just under 300 kilograms, so 297 I think, something like that. We're going to go pick that up tomorrow. Yeah, we'll see how much oil we get for that. And then he also asked us if we wanted to pay in oil for the pressing, or you can pay cash. So it's either they take 20%, or say you had 100 litres of oil, they took those 20 litres, or you could pay €7 per litre, so it would be that 20 litres times 7. So we decided to pay with oil this time. I don't know if that was wise because I'm not sure how much oil we're going to get. We're going to do some more picking this week. We just wanted to get them to the press as soon as possible to reduce the amount of fermentation that's taking place. So we still have a lot of trees to pick, so hopefully we'll get some more. And we might try a different press just to keep things interesting. We'll see, but you'll be coming along. Reflecting back on our very first olive harvest back in 2021, we were overwhelmed with everything that we needed to learn, but with the help of our friends and neighbours, we managed to pick a whopping 440 kilograms. We were aiming for 500 because that allows you to get your own private pressing, so you're getting the olive oil from your particular olives rather than putting them into like a cooperative batch of olive oil. But the press let us put in our 440 kilograms anyway, so we got our own olive oil, and these 440 kilograms turned into 52 litres of olive oil, and we paid the press in oil rather than cash, so they took 10 litres as payment for the pressing.
Coming on.
Very slowly.
That's nice colour.
We're going to be here a while, aren't we?
Yeah, could you put it on the floor? Don't spill any across the
wind.
coals.
The wind.
Quite fun.
Yeah.
Oh, it smells lush.
I've just been sitting in the last of the light doing a little drawing. If you don't know, I also work as an illustrator, and One of our Patreon perks is that our patrons get a digital print every month, so this is for you guys. If you want to join us on there, you're always welcome. One of our biggest questions we do get asked is how do we make a living here in the middle of an olive grove, and that is by working online, and that leads me into the sponsor of today's video, which is Squarespace, who we've spoken about many times because they're amazing. I run my Calm Lines website on Squarespace and it's been just such an easy, wonderful space to be able to create a website on. I find it very intuitive. They have a editing interface called Fluid Engine where you can just click and drag and drop all the items as you want. It's been really easy for me to set up an online shop to sell my prints. And if you don't have any design skills like I don't know how to build a website, they have hundreds of very beautiful templates that you can choose from, and these make it really quick and easy to get your site looking really professional really quickly, and then you can go in later as your confidence builds and shift things around, like change the font or the colour palette. They've got loads of other tools you can use. They've got 24/7 customer service. If you are doing things and you get a little bit lost, then they're always there to support you. Virgil has something to say. Anyway, you'll find a link in our description if you want to check it out. If you sign up through squarespace.com, you get a free trial, and when you're ready to launch and you sign up for a domain, you can get 10% off with our code FrankieOffGrid. Good morning. It is a very beautiful but rather cold morning here. Diogo sunbathing. Today we are going up to our friends Nick and Andrea's. They have a big farm up in Albi, and we're going to go give them a hand with picking their olives today. So we'll take you along so you can see a different setup. Nick has the mechanical tree tickler, so you can see that in action. You're going to be tickling some trees.
Tree tickler.
Shall I take this off for her?
How are they coming off?
Easy. I was hoping me and Nick could shake it, but this one's a bit too big, eh? Our friends.
All right, yeah.
And we're doing them this year as well.
Oh, cool.
Wow, really long.
It's a bit this. Yeah.
You can make it very spicy. It's spicy, because you love spicy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Don't bring it, kill something.
Ah.
staring up into the sun. How many?
About 50, not bad.
50, probably 30 on this one. He's not happy.
What do you think of the olive harvest this year, Nick?
Hey?
What do you think of the olives this year?
The Cordovils again are really badly fly pecked.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. But the Gallagher's a lot better. So because of that, I don't think we've got so many Cordovils. But we got a lot of Gallagher's and they're all in good condition. So.
Awesome.
And that's most of our olives are Gallagher's. So.
Got a little helper. Oh!
Yeah, he's a bit.
Not quite with it.
Yeah, the lagar that currently holds the most intrigue is the Castello Branco one.
Yeah. Nice.
You've got a nice toned colour here because you've both got slightly different blues, and then the green of the net is really beautiful.
Yeah, because we're going to need another one. When we've done these, Ewan,
Yeah.
we need a small one
To come back along.
out in the road.
Yeah.
Out there, and we'll move the big one to here.
Nice. You were telling me about eating olive leaves. Can you tell me again?
Yes, olive leaves are full of lots of phytonutrients and antioxidants, and they'll also help you with antiviral, antibacterial, antiparasitic. So a few leaves in a cup of hot water, leave it for 15 minutes, and then sip away, and it is beautiful tea. And if you add rosemary, apparently it's even more delicious.
Where'd you get that hint from?
Thanks to my friend Carissa.
But you're also saying you can chew them on, but it's a less enjoyable way, I think.
If you chew, you're going to get the tannin flavour that you would get from eating a raw olive.
Yeah, so they're quite bitter,
Yeah.
but good for you.
Botterol. And what does that mean? What's the origin of?
It's French. That's the theory, see? But
What's going on in here?
so the whole tree's going on it.
Building a den.
Funny how all the boys are over here as
So
well.
can you pass me the shaky thing?
I can. So we've put the net to reduce the olives flying everywhere because this tree is right next to a pond. So it has gotten really cold, but we've just finished for the day. I think we've got about half of Nick and Andrew's trees done, so they'll have a bit more picking to do.
Can you tell it's cold?
It's freezing, hence my crazy hat Andrew gave me. But yeah, it's been really amazing doing it all as a team and seeing how much we've got. I think it's going to be over 400 kilos for the day, so pretty cool. Whilst my focaccia is rising, I'm going to go and pick some olives for brining. So Iwan's gonna brine them for me. So we just need to find the ones, like good quality ones. So I'm just gonna go and do like a hand pick on all the trees that are left. And yeah, we just need to check. I'll show you because I might buy a tree now. So this is looking good. You have to look for ones with a hole in, means a fly has been in it, and because we'll be eating them, we really want to make sure they're not going to have maggots in. So yeah, it's just the last hour of the day. You can hear in the background all the neighbours still picking with their ticklers. I think what I'm going to do, actually, we've got lots of really small trees down at the other end of our land, so I'm going to go and pick off those ones because it's easier to reach, and then also see if I can get any good olives off the Cordoville tree as well, because they're really nice for eating, but they're not. Some of our trees are bigger than others. This is one of the smaller ones. So I think this will do for now. Ewan will do a secondary check for holes as he's brining them. I'm going to go get the focaccia on the go. You look concerned.
No, it's just going to be an interesting mix, isn't it? Because we've got the Cordoville ones, which are massive. I think we do this every year, but check out the difference in size. So, let's come a little bit closer to show you this on. So this little contraption here is a olive cutter. We'll call it a cutter, an olive slicer. Maybe you can quite see, but there you go. On the inside are four like razors, very very sharp, and you get the olive, you push it in, and it goes straight through. It comes out with, it puts four little slices in your olive. So it just helps the browning process go a little bit quicker. So we put them into a food safe plastic bottle, and they will sit in here for a certain amount of time. I can't remember how long.
Here's how my focaccia is looking. Lovely. This is the life I envisioned for us.
Yeah. So by slicing them, the salty water can get inside the olive quicker, so therefore speed up the brining process. And a good excuse to sit down and have a beer, isn't it?
If you leave them whole, they'll need to sit in a brine a lot longer. The longer you brine them for, the less bitter the olives become. So it says at least 2 months. If you prefer less bitter olives, replace the brine with a fresh batch of strong brine at 1 month intervals for 2 or 3 months. Changing the brine more often will leach out more of the bitter oleuropein.
You'll all be olive specialists by the end of this video. Or completely fed up of olives and never want to see one ever again. Nice.
It's very warm in our kitchen. We've got the fire going and had the oven on, but time to taste the focaccia with our fresh olive oil. Very good. In many ways, olive oil production has similarities to wine production. To begin with, the terroir, the type of soil and climate in which the vines and trees are growing, has a significant influence on the characteristics and taste of the final product. Here in Castelo Branco, which is in the Beira Baixa region of Portugal, the olive oil is characterised by the limestone, quartz and granite soils and a hot summer Mediterranean climate. So one other very distinctive element of olive harvest season is lots of bonfires. You can normally smell fires everywhere when you're driving through the villages because there's so much leftovers that need to be gotten rid of, especially here in central Portugal. By the time the summer and the fire season comes around, you will not be allowed to have all this sitting around. So we do have a chipper, so we're going to try and chip as much as we can. It's still a bit too green, like too wet to put through the chipper. I'm going to save what we can that we'll be able to use for firewood in our log burner. And we also have a lot of mimosa from the tree we cut down, which just needs burning because it's not really useful. But I do like to try and leave it to let the leaves drop off the olive trees because they're really nice like mulch to go into the ground. But it's just taking over the land a bit now at the moment and making it quite hard to prune the other trees. This tree needs to harvest the other trees. This tree here needs harvesting. So I'm going to just try and get rid of this big batch here. So even in the winter you have to register to have a fire here in Portugal. I'll leave the website below in case you're new to Portugal and need to register a fire. It tells them your exact location of where you're having a fire, so if anything does go wrong they can get to you as quickly as possible. we still have quite a lot of trees to harvest. The weather has been very much against us. We managed to get to, I think, 22 of our 100 trees, but we did do most of the really big ones. So we're hoping that by getting up early and doing a full day pick, a bit like we did at Nick's, maybe over 2 days we'll be able to pick the rest and get them to the press as soon as possible. It was really great doing it all as a team at Nick's. It made it a really fun day. We were a little bit achy the day after. We did from about 10:30 till 6 in the evening. So a long day of picking, but it's amazing what we managed to get done. I know Nick documented it also. He'll be releasing a video about his olive harvest. I think they continued picking over the week. And I know Luke and Sarah from Luke and Sarah's Off-Grid Life were also filming that day, so if you've not had enough of olive harvest, yeah, I'll link those 2 videos below. Whilst I've been thinking about this video and olives, I've been doing so much research, and I hope you've enjoyed me kind of putting in a little bit more of what I've been learning, and it's really, firstly, got me really excited about the fact that we do have so many olive trees, and it's just such an incredible product. Again, there was a documentary I watched called Obsessed with olive oil, which I found really interesting, so if you do want to learn more, I'd recommend going to watch that. And it's really impacted how I'm thinking about our picking practice and more trying to pick and get to the press as soon as possible. And I even want to experiment with a few different presses. I know there's a press in the north that does
Good night. Say bye.